Is Buffy Summers here tonight? Did she,
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the characters in adolescent and young adult-centered series that would have caused us to flunk school, because we'd be too busy studying them.
This isn't Shakespeare.
It's not?
It's the words to a Clash song.
But which Clash song?
Number 10. Stars Stilinski, Teen Wolf. Fierce loyalty, biting sarcasm, and a sharp mind rolled into one gangly package. That is Stars Stilinski.
Scott, come on. I'm 147 pounds of pale skin and fragile bone, okay? Sarcasm is my only defense.
Being a werewolf's best friend isn't for the weak, but Styles always stood by those he loved no matter the situation or species. He also brought the comedic relief that Teen Wolf needed and made our hearts swell with how adorable he was. Not to mention, he had a deep bond with his dad and was extremely dependable, even when going through a lot. Indeed, he and his 1980s Jeep were always ready to race to the rescue, unless it was broken down, which was often. Despite the tense nature of the show, Styles regularly sported a goofy smile and puppy dog eyes that left us swooning.
Lydia, you're so smart. I could kiss you right now.
Do not kiss me.
Not gonna. Mwah! Did it anyway.
Number 9. Felicity Porter, Felicity. Watching Felicity work to find herself through a series of vulnerable, euphoric, and hilarious moments made it hard not to fall in love with her and her honey-coloured curls.
Oh God, you did, didn't you?
She started as a young, timid future doctor whose main dream was pleasing her parents. Seeing her bloom into a confident, risk-taking art major in New York City was truly a treat.
Hey.
So what if we did this?
Her journey also served as a good reminder that at the end of the day, your choices are yours to make, and it's your future to live. So do what makes you happy. Plus, she was obviously gorgeous inside and out. Yes, even with the controversial post-breakup haircut.
Oh God.
What, you don't like it?
You look hot.
Number 8. Bonnie Bennett, The Vampire Diaries. Speaking of charming, strong-willed women, Bonnie Bennett enchanted us from the very beginning, and not just because she's a witch.
You can thank me tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that.
Born from a powerful line that's been wrapped up in the risky business of vampires for far too long, Bonnie often got the short end of the stick. She was an expert at cleaning up her friends' messes and was empathetic almost to a fault, as in she was literally willing to die for her loved ones.
I assume you're the reason Elena's still walking around alive?
That's right. If you want to blame someone, blame me.
Oh, there's no need for blame, love. Just your witchy interference seems to have caused some undesirable side effects, and since you caused the problem, I'm gonna have you find the fix.
If there's one thing we always knew while watching The Vampire Diaries, it was that she could be counted on to save the day. Fiery and clever to boot, this bewitchingly beautiful icon could cast a spell on us any day.
I can't do it alone.
Nonsense. You are strong enough to do anything you put your mind to.
Number 7. Seth Cohen, The OC. Tall, dark, and handsome, with great curls and a firm grasp on the art of sarcasm, Seth Cohen was all of our Y2K dreams come true.
Who's winning right now, me or my hair?
Though he wasn't and would never be the stereotypical California surfer boy, that's just fine with us. His cute comic book obsession and impeccable taste in music charmed us anyway. Sure, he was far from being considered a cool kid by many of his classmates, but if you ask us, they didn't know what they were talking about.
Seth, if it's just you and me, can we maybe do this at home? Yeah, we could, but then we wouldn't get our pictures in the yearbook.
The love he had for Summer and his quirky personality and artistic talents won us over forever. His gorgeous eyes and smile certainly didn't hurt either.
Summer, I'll walk you to bio.
I can walk myself.
Great, then you can walk me too.
Number 6. Luca Scott, One Tree Hill.
I need you to trust me and believe me when I tell you that my heart is with you. But a part of me feels like ever since we got back together, you've just been waiting to push me away.
His biological dad wanted nothing to do with him at first, so it's safe to say Lucas wasn't dealt a fair hand. Add in girls and an estranged half-brother who also plays basketball, Lucas's sport of choice, and it's a recipe for teen drama.
None of us want you on the team, man. I don't want you. The guys don't want you. My girlfriend sure as hell doesn't want you.
There was, of course, a love triangle along the way, with Lucas and his dreamy eyes understandably at the centre of it. While he never really formed a solid bond with his father, it was certainly nice to see him develop a true brotherhood with sibling Nathan. Plus, his relationship with his mum, Karen, and late Uncle Keith, as well as his passion for writing, warmed our hearts. Is it any wonder we found ourselves crushing on this Scott brother?
Holy cow. I forgot there was a world outside the house.
Number 5. Emily Fields, Pretty Little Liars. She was empowered, strong, resilient, interesting, and one heck of an athlete. Oh, and she pulled all that off while being stalked and blackmailed alongside her friends.
Senior year is supposed to be the best year of your life. Did you know that? Yeah, if you survive it.
It goes without saying, but things were rough for Emily on more than one occasion, both in love and in life more generally. But she always found a way through by persevering, and we'll always love her for it. How could we not?
I was almost killed. These are not highlights, Hannah. This is glass in my hair.
On top of all of that, she was loyal, passionate about sports, and her family, and incredibly kind to all. Not to mention her character was huge for the representation of LGBTQIA+ youths in mainstream television at the time.
I loved her against reason, against promise, against peace, against hope, against happiness, against all discouragement that could be.
Number 4. Serena Vander Woodson, Gossip Girl. It girl Serena Vander Woodson, known for turning heads and stopping hearts, and ours were no exception.
This girl has it. She is warm like sunshine. She has fun.
Dressed to impress, beautifully blonde, and always bringing the good times along with her. It's no wonder Serena instantly lit up any room she walked into. Her choices may have been questionable at times, but what teen can say they've never been wrong? She owns up to her mistakes often and had a sweet, forgiving nature that her equally rich, equally gorgeous friends like Chuck Bass definitely benefited from.
You can tell us anything. We don't judge. We're the non-judging breakfast club.
Although the spotlight seemed to follow her, she didn't always want it to, and seemed to stray further from the Upper East Side than most in her tax bracket did. She appreciated humble beginnings, and we appreciated her.
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
Number 3. Jess Mariano, Gilmore Girls. With gorgeous slick-back hair, a heart-wrenching smirk, and a rebellious streak, Jess Mariano was the ultimate bad boy.
You going to smoke that or mind meld with it?
Depends.
Sent to Stars Hollow after causing trouble back home, Jess made a splash in the small town, and in our hearts. Despite being generally angsty and having a hard time allowing others to get close to him, we fell in love with his sweet side. You know, the one that loved all things literary, and had an interest in artistic endeavours.
You've read this before.
About 40 times.
I thought you said you didn't read much.
Wow, what is much?
It's the side that cared deeply for his uncle, though he was reluctant to show it, as if it wasn't swoon-worthy enough. He had a clever comeback for everything, and was incredibly intelligent, and his positive qualities only increased as he grew into a mature man.
Luke tells me that the book press is going great.
It's doing okay.
So you've got Dave Eggers shaking in his boots?
If Dave Eggers even knows we exist, I'd be happy.
Number 2. Buffy Summers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy Summers slayed more than just vampires. She also conquered high school, fashion, and our hearts, just to name a few things.
You're dead.
I may be dead, but I'm still pretty. Which is more than I can say for you.
Popular, stubborn, and drop-dead gorgeous, Buffy was more than ready for a fresh start at Sunnydale High. It's too bad no one ever mentions just how hard it is to focus on making friends and finishing assignments when you were born predestined to be the next great vampire slayer of your time.
Into each generation, a slayer is born. One girl in all the world, a chosen one born with a
strength and skill to hunt the vampires, to stop the spread of their evil blah blah blah. I've heard it, okay?
While she wasn't always sold on the idea, she eventually grew into the badass slayer with the strong moral compass that we all know and love. And she did it without sacrificing having more typical teenage experiences. She really could do it all, so we were putty in her hands.
Tell me you love me.
I love you. You know I do.
Tell me you want me.
I always want you.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Matty McKibben, awkward. His charm was undeniable.
But what I know is that part of me will always be yours. And, you know, when the time is right, I have a feeling we'll find each other. Yeah, we always do.
Manny Santos, Degrassi, The Next Generation. She wrote the book on confidence. Logan Echolls, Veronica Mars. We couldn't resist his charisma. Jordan Catalano, My So-Called Life. He always found a way to make us blush.
Why you like this?
Like what?
Like how you are.
Dylan McKay, Beverly Hills 90210. A magnetic force.
I don't know, everyone says he's trouble. Well, he can trouble me all he wants.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Damon Salvatore, The Vampire Diaries.
Hello, brother.
When we think of Damon Salvatore, we see icy blue eyes filled with unmatched passion and cheekbones for days. Pair that with a sharp tongue and incredible commitment to protecting those he loved, and you've got the perfect recipe to get us swooning.
You look,
Dashing, gorgeous, irresistible.
A recovering antagonist, he'd had centuries to perfect both questionable battle methods and bedroom eyes, and he had them both down to a science. And although you wouldn't catch him dead admitting it, underneath all that arrogant sarcasm and rage-fueled impulsivity was a heart of gold. Or maybe you would catch him dead, considering he was a very old vampire. But somehow that just made us love him even more.
You want me.
Excuse me?
I get to you. You find yourself drawn to me. You think about me even when you don't want to think about me. I bet you even dreamed about me.
What dreamy teen character do you wish had walked the halls in your school? Let us know in the comments below.
Acknowledge me now or lose me forever.
Wait, you're dating this emo geek?
Yes, Brad, she's dating this emo geek.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.